All right, Team Our Victory, we are back on Zoom. I like Facebook Live, but I find, let me explain like why I'm bringing you onto Zoom tonight. I like Facebook Live, I really do, but I like it for little snippets. When it's a long thing, it makes it really hard because even though it's saving it in Facebook, like we all know technology changes. I want to make sure that I have my hands on these resources for a long time. And so the reality is, if Facebook were to go away or change its rules or do something or get rid of the live thing and we lost all that content, I wouldn't want that. I want to be able to save these to YouTube so that we have this content for a long time coming as coaches come onto the team and things like that. Makes it very easy for us to be able to say, you know what, Brittany talked about that on a webinar one day. Here, let me get you the link. You can listen to it when you have some time as personal development, right? So that's kind of why I decided to go back to Zoom. I also have had a couple like glitchy things happening whenever I'm on Facebook Live where I feel like my Wi-Fi's down or I don't know. So anyway, we are here, we are live, we are on Zoom, and I welcome you guys. Thank you so much for just all of you guys that have decided to join the Fall Back into Fitness. Right now, I am really trying to shift some focus. And before I get into the content tonight, I kind of want to share with you where I am and the direction that I'm going as we close out 2016. Because as you know, I took that week off at the end of August. I was on a cruise and I got to unplug and just really dive into my thought process, clear out the clutter and just zone in and hone in on exactly where it is I want our team to go by the end of. So, hey, Kayla.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
Exhausted, but good.
Yeah. I was just starting to talk through kind of where I'm at post-cruise and where I'm kind of trying to get the team to go for the rest of 2016. So that's where I was just at.
Okay.
And then I'll dive into what we're talking about tonight. So my idea, I kind of got this summer, was that it was really nice to do groups of 3 when I talk about my challenge groups. Groups of 3 as in like I did Summer Strong 3 months in a row. It was the same meal planners, the same challenge group posts, the same stuff, right? I did change up like, you know, my ad image or whatever for each group so that it felt a little different because there's people that roll over month to month. So it just felt a little different for them. But I utilized the same thing for 3 months. And then in the 4th month, I did just the Country Heat Only group, which was only on Facebook. It was a lot lower key. I didn't plug my heart into that group like I normally would. And so I essentially took the 4th month off of challenge groups. So that's kind of where my thought process is going, to do 3 months back to back of challenge groups, and then to take that 4th month and not to take it off per se, because we don't want to like, you know, we want to work towards Success Club and we want people to have a resource and an outlet to go to, but to kind of shift the focus in that 4th month to more team related things like business building, like inviting people to be coaches. And it's what I'm talking about right now is going to be a totally different webinar for a totally different night, but I just kind of want to guide you through my thought process. So 3 months of a fitness series. So this is Fall Back into Fitness. We're going to do it September, October, November. And then December, it's all going to be about talking about the business and getting people plugged in. After they did that for 3 months, do they want their Shakeology for a discount? Do they want to do what we do? And so that's kind of where it's at. So in the team, I'm also focusing my energy in that same manner. I am focusing right now, I am not trying to teach people in our group about going Emerald or about how to invite coaches to be on our team or coach basics, right? What I'm kind of honing in on the group is our fitness, our nutrition. Are we sharing our journeys? Even if you're a discount coach, even if you're not, like, I want to get rid of this idea of if I'm on Team Our Victory and I'm not working, in quotes, the business, I'm not supposed to participate. I want to get rid of that notion. I feel like that is something over time that I've created in the group, that I've allowed our group to be separated. People who talk in our group because they work the business and people who just sit on the back burner and they don't talk at all. And essentially those people drop out of the group because they're kind of sick of hearing us in a sense. And I don't want that. So what I've decided is to kind of focus on everyone rather than just focusing on the business. Because essentially, if you're doing your fitness and you're drinking your shakes and you're focused on your nutrition, the business is going to also be just a rollover effect from that. Okay. It goes hand in hand. So that's kind of where I'm at with the team. These next 2 months, I'm going to be really focusing on that. You'll see in the third month in November, I'm going to kind of transition my thought process. And in November, I'm going to transition to more of the, of building our team. So then in December, we can train on new coming coaches and all that good stuff. And so we'll kind of shift that too. So basically, what I'm doing right now is for everyone. So tonight's webinar is not necessarily just for working coaches. It's for everyone, because I'm gearing also the content of what we're talking about to where my focus is, which is on challenge groups. This month, it's all about challenge groups, showing people the benefits of them and just why it works. So tonight I'm talking about our biggest competition as coaches and just in the health and fitness industry in general. So even as challengers, even people who are in our groups, the competition that they face every day, that we all face, is not another network marketing company. It's not other people on Facebook overshining us. It's not the top coach in the network taking everybody from us. Like, it's not that. It's not at all. Our biggest competition isn't even really ourselves. In a sense, it can be, but our competition is not even another person. It's not. There are 5 things right now that we compete with every single day as coaches. So I'm going to tell you the 5 things. And then the way I break it down is as I go through each thing, I'm going to tell you what, like, the myth, how people see that and what that really looks like in society versus how we can portray that differently. And so I'm really excited because in this health bet, in our group this month, we have a lot of coaches from Team Our Victory in that group. And I'm so excited because it doesn't matter if you're working the business or you're just in it for your own health and fitness. All of this pertains to you because you can help to end that trend of obesity. I posted something today that there's about 300 million people in North America. And of those 300 million people, 200 million are obese or overweight. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're working or not working or whatever. Like, I'm not trying to sell anything. I don't care. You could still share what you're doing because that has an impact, has a ripple effect on other people to share that, you know what, I am part of the 60 million people that actually work out. So the 5 things. The first thing that we compete with is going to be laziness and lethargy. Okay, so let me talk about that. So we are in an overworked society. People are overworked, underpaid, they're tired. That's that lethargy, right? Low energy. People don't have energy. So when they get home, they want to do things that require zero thought. I don't want to have to think about going to the gym and what I'm going to have to do. Like, I don't want to have to think about that. Or people who do say, you know, I really do need to work towards my health and fitness. I am going to go to the gym. They get there and they get on the treadmill for like 10 minutes. They do something that doesn't even matter when they get on the treadmill. Like, maybe they walked for 10 minutes, right, as they scrolled their phone. And then they're like, yeah, you know what? I'm done. I'm tired. I'm going home. And so that process, they're not seeing results. They get frustrated, but I went to the gym, but I'm not seeing results. No, it's because they don't have room for that. There's no space left to have to think about those things, right? So there's no energy when we get home. We also live in a society that wants just, like, I'll just have more coffee, right? Or I'll just have another Red Bull and that'll keep me awake. Or we get to that 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock crash, and what can I just stuff into my body artificially to give myself some sort of enhancement, right? So that I can make it through this day. And that's the truth. That's what we're battling. We're competing against people who are tired, people who are lazy, people who don't have to think for themselves because McDonald's cooks their dinner for them and because Amazon will deliver whatever the heck they want on their front door in under an hour. Because we have a society that doesn't have to really do anything for themselves, we have to compete against that. Absolutely. So how do we fix that? How do we compete against that in a manner that is not salesy, in a manner that is just showing people straight up what we're doing? Well, we can show others how we get fit when life gets crazy. So like when my life gets hectic, what are my go-tos? Like, what do I do, right? When I was a school teacher and I would have to go to color guard rehearsal after school, and then after rehearsal, I wouldn't get home till like 10 p.m. and then, wash, rinse, repeat. Like it was another hectic day. I had to fit in my workout at 3:15 p.m. when teachers were able to leave. I had to get out of there at 3:15. I had to get out at 3:15, and I used 3:15 to 4 o'clock as my time window for working out, because at 4:15, I had to be in the car heading to rehearsal. And so that's what I had to do. So I shared that. I can still share that. So I want you to find those little snippets in your life of when it gets crazy, what have you learned in your journey that can help somebody else that might be struggling with the same thing? What have you learned? Because when they see that you can do it, they're going to feel like they can do it too. Promote holistic health, guys. So I talked about like, I'll just have more coffee or Red Bull, or, what was it? Freaking Donald Trump said something about, so Hillary Clinton was like sick, and like Donald Trump's taking it like, because why not take that and twist it and make it sound like he's a better candidate? So Donald Trump said something the other day, and that's just politics. I'm not getting here nor there about either candidate really, but it's so funny to watch them have to like spin stuff, right? But with her, he said something like, when she's done with her campaigns, do you know what she does? She goes home and she goes to bed. I was like watching it and I'm like, and like, can you elaborate? No, she goes home and she goes to bed. Well, good for her. Like, hello, he's promoting, and in society we promote this like, I'll sleep when I die kind of thing, kind of mentality, right? And it's like, no, your body needs rest. And so we have to promote that when you feel tired, you need rest. If your brain is just like mush, or it's just super, it's filled with just such like chaos, or you just feel like you can't clear your mind, you need to calm down and meditate. Maybe do some yoga. We've got the new 3-week yoga retreat that people could just plug into. Giving them an app resource to meditate, and to just calm their bodies down. Talking through that promoting holistic health, I think, is so important as coaches, because it shows that we're not just promoting a shake and a workout DVD, but you know what? I want your mind, your body, and your soul to be healthy, okay? Because that's going to help when you're tired, when you're lethargic, when you just want to be lazy, right? And be proof, guys, that healthiness creates energy. Healthiness creates energy. I think that, it's important to, it's hard, because when you first start a fitness program and you're out of shape, or you're deconditioned, it's really easy to say, I'm just too tired and I have no energy to go to the gym or to go work out because I simply am exhausted. And then when I do it, I feel even more tired. And then the next day I'm sore, plus I'm still tired. And then I got home from work and I'm in, like you see the pattern, right? We've all been there in the beginning stages. But if they can get past those beginning stages and they can see the benefits, they'll end up having more energy. And we know this. We know this because we live this. But sharing that and being proof that healthiness creates energy, it's powerful. So share Shakeology and the benefits of what it's really doing. Share Energize or Focused Energy or whatever energy enhancements you add to your body related. Share about those during this, especially during this health month that we're all kind of really engaged and like laser focused right now on getting that little cash pot prize. It's so important that we all are just sharing this journey. Okay, so that's number 1, laziness and lethargy. Number 2, another competitor we have is instant gratification. Instant gratification. People want quick fixes. I spoke about this a second ago. It's easy to just have things done for you. People want fast food because, you know what, I'm driving home. I don't even have to get out of my car. Once I get home, the meal, I've already got a hot meal, and then I can just eat and I can do whatever other thing I have to do tonight. It's one less thing I have to do. That's what fast food is doing for people. It's one less thing, right? And so people want that. They want instantly to have dinner on the table without having to put in the work. People want temporary solutions for long-term problems. And temporary solutions could be alcohol, right? Like, I'm just going to go to the bar after work, or we're just going to go out on Friday night or whatever, and I'm going to drink because, and then when you drink, you make bad choices with your food and just this and that. And it's like a cycle, right? Junk food is also a temporary solution for people. Some people, if they're depressed or something happened, my boyfriend broke up with me and I ate the whole pint of ice cream, right? That kind of a thing. Some people lean towards comfort foods and junk foods and sugars when they're feeling down about themselves. And again, it just creates this vicious cycle. Instantly, they're gratified. It's a temporary solution. They feel good right now because I'm eating that ice cream and I feel good. It makes me feel better. But then tomorrow, guess what? Your boyfriend still broke up with you. And you now feel like crap because you ate a whole pint of ice cream. So then, like, what happens? Do we just continue that cycle, right? So that's another one. Binge watching Netflix. I was just trying to think of, like, what are some temporary solutions we have nowadays? People who just sit in front of the television, reality TV, or I just watch this show, followed by this show, followed by this show, and that's my Thursday night routine. When people do that, they're escaping a reality of a sense, right? They're escaping out of what they really are, they don't want to focus on what's going on in their head or their heart or their lives around them. So let me just plug into television and get into this fake world, Pokemon Go, for example. Like, let me just go search for fake things. No, like, do real things, right? So temporary solutions, that's what people want. So what can we do? How can we work against this whole instant gratification thing that we are, like, always surrounded by, right? Well, one is to share your progress and your journey openly on social media. And so when I mean openly, I mean openly. Like, don't just share the great day or, like, the sweaty selfie, like, I just crushed my workout, I'm so badass. Like, not just sharing your progress when it's great, but openly sharing your progress on social media all the time, right? Hey, listen, this is September. I'm in fall back into committed. Our group's committed to working out at least 3 days a week and drinking at least 5 shakes and logging it for each other. And I've committed to this, so I'm going to share that journey with you here. And sharing that journey, listen, I started 21-day fix, and so I'm going to share every single day of my 21 days, start to finish, because I want the accountability from you. And sharing that openly on social media consistently is so big to show people that, you know what, instant gratification might feel good in the moment, but the 21 days that pass aren't really that long. They're really not that long. And so after 3 weeks, all of a sudden they see what your work did for you. And they're like, wait a second. 3 weeks just went by like that. Like, I remember when she posted about day 1, and now here she is at day 21. She's feeling like this, and she looks like that. And these are the things that have happened. These are the goals that she reached. And when they see that and they realize, you know what, 3 weeks wasn't that big of a time, long of a time after all, they're more inclined to then say, you know what, I think I might be able to do that too. So sharing that, guys. What's another way we can reverse instant gratification as our competitor? Well, open people's eyes and educate others on those harms in the fast food and harms of sugar. And so the more we can be educators, right? The more we can educate others, that is the number one thing. That's the number one thing for anybody in their health journey. Doesn't matter if you are, like, not even thinking about getting on a treadmill ever, to the person that, like, is a runaholic, right? And everything in between. Doesn't matter. Education is always the first and most key thing for showing people and opening their eyes to possibilities, whether they're overdoing it or maybe they're not doing enough, right? And so education is super, super important. So the more we can educate, like I said, I put a post up today educating people on how many people are actually overweight and obese in North America. And guess what? You know what? I don't know. Nobody commented like, wow, you really opened my eyes today, Britt. Like, nobody said that to me. But I imagine that there's somebody out there that read that today and was like, holy smokes, that's a lot of people. Am I one of those people? And all of a sudden it starts the wheels turning. And even if it's just one person that started turning their wheels today because of that post, I did my job, right? So start educating others. And you know what? Guess what? I didn't wake up like last week knowing that data. Google it. So if you're like, but Brittany, I don't really know much information about statistics and I don't know the harms in fast food. Google it, and then make a post about it. That's the beauty of the internet, right? Speaking of instant gratification, right? You can instantly get answers to things that you need. Another thing is doing a then and now. When you show people where you were, what you endured, how you used to feel, what you used to do in your life, and then showing them what you are now like, it closes that gap a little bit for people. Sometimes that gap between where I am and where they are, or where you are and where they are, or whatever, sometimes that gap feels big, and it feels scary, and it feels too big to attain, right? And so talking to somebody I totally know what you're talking about because I used to do this. But what I've found is now, after doing X, Y, and Z, I'm able to do this. Or what I changed was, and it took me a while. Like today in our challenge group, I had somebody post about not putting creamer in her coffee for the first time today. Do you know that is like my nemesis? Like, creamer is so good. And now this is the worst time of year for me because pumpkin freaking spice creamer is like, it's so good. So good. But you know what? It's so artificial. It's chemicals. And I know I shouldn't put that in my body. I know I shouldn't. And it's like guilty pleasure for me. But I had to wean myself off of that because guess what? When I was like, you know what? I'll just put almond milk in my coffee. I'm pretty sure I didn't drink that coffee. I'm pretty sure I was like, yeah, I'm not drinking this today. It sucks. Doesn't taste good. And I had to like slowly baby step wean myself off. And now I keep creamer in my fridge, but it is not a daily habit. I do not need my cream in my coffee, and I have cleaned up versions too. But I don't need it in my coffee every single stinking day, and I don't need coffee every day. So showing people that gap, that you can close that gap by taking these baby steps, right? Some of you have given up soda or that's a nemesis of yours. And so it's like, what does that journey look like for you to get there? Some people fast food, like I always go through the fast food and how did you get off that, right? And so talking people through that journey so they can feel like if you can do it, I can do it, right? And then the last thing for this one is express what benefits fitness does for you, right? Express those benefits. So yeah, I know that drinking a glass of wine might chill me out for the rest of the day, but you know what? Then I don't do my workout. That sucks, right? And I used to have to teach myself after work, I would want to come home from work and the first thing I want to do was like unwind. And what does unwind mean for me? Like, well, that at that time meant pour yourself a glass of wine, Britt. And so I had to make an agreement with myself, right? So my agreement was if you come in the door and you do your workout, then you can have the wine. And honestly, a lot of times I'd finish the workout and I was thirsty, so I just wanted water. And I ended up not having the glass of wine. And that's how I kind of got myself out of that pattern, that habit, because we get ourselves stuck in these habits that we're not even aware of. Right? I wasn't even really aware that I didn't do my workouts because I wanted the wine until I drank the wine and tried to do a workout and it just didn't work, right? So it's that awareness of what our lives are like and the habits we've created. So express what these benefits have done for you so that people can start to see, okay, well, I want that. I want to feel like that. But this might be standing in the way of getting to there. So you know what? Maybe I got to check out this first. And so like showing people the benefits so that they can, like I said, cross that gap and get there a little easier. Our third competitor is that and it's kind of similar to the first, but a little bit different. It's that there's too much going on. There's just simply too much going on. And we've crafted a society where busy equals productive, equals worthy, and it equals success. And I want you to really think about that. If I'm busy, then I must be productive, right? Like I'm doing stuff, so I'm productive. And you know what? When I'm productive, when I'm getting stuff done, people are going to notice. People are going to think I'm awesome. People are going to say, wow, look at what she does. Look at all the things she's doing. And that makes me worthy because then people accept me. And then when I'm worthy and I have people's acceptance and I'm doing stuff and then I'm successful. But you know what? That's false. So false. Our worthiness is not crafted in being busy at all. At all. And a lot of times it's just like a hamster wheel. We're just doing this loop and we don't even end up getting to success because we're so busy being busy, that it's not doing anything for us. We're not moving forward. We're just round and round and round we go. So that's a big problem in society, and we have to compete with that. Oh my gosh, we have to compete with that. I don't have time is the biggest excuse that I hear all the time. Oh, I don't have time. I don't have time for that. I don't have time. I'm sorry. Did somebody give you less hours in the day than everyone else in the world? Like, what are you talking about? You don't have time. None of us have time. I don't physically have time in my hands. That one gets me so angry. I don't have time in my hands. I'm not holding on to time. Time has passed since I started talking on this webinar. I don't have it. It's not in my hands. It's going. It's away from me. It's out of my control. What we have is we have the ability to spend our time incrementally on the things we want to do. So if I'm choosing to spend the majority of my time doing this stuff, and then I only have a little bit of time for my fitness, that is my choice, and that is the pill I have to swallow. Everyone is in circumstances and situations that prevent them from doing X, Y, or Z. And I get that. And it's not like a shaming thing. It's not like, oh, if you don't have time for your fitness, what the heck are you doing? But I will say that because of this whole busy stuff, like we're trying to be so busy, sometimes we're so busy being busy that we're just wasting time. And more often than not, I think people are just flat out wasting time in their day. And I am totally, totally wasting time sometimes. Like I will find myself like this, like just scrolling. And then all of a sudden I'll like snap back into reality. I'm like, what the heck am I doing? Like I'm wasting time looking at I'm looking at the dumbest thing, right? I'm like looking at it. I'm like, I can't get that time back. I just wasted all that time. So I don't have time. It's not about that. None of us have time. And you know what? Katie Ersta, I love following her because she's just so real. But she posted the other day about people when they say they don't have time. And it's not that we get time. Like I woke up today and I get to be alive. I get the time today. Like right now I'm getting this time and it's a gift, but I might not get time later. That's not guaranteed. Beyond 6:28 p.m. right now here at home, I don't know what's in the future for me, in the future for anything, right? I don't get time beyond where I presently am. And so it is a gift that we have the time that we have. And so what are you using it on? How are you using that gift? A lot of us are using busyness, like being busy, just busyness, as a mask to not deal. And that's where that instant gratification cycle goes back. So I binge watch my Netflix because, you know what, I'm so busy at the end of it all. I want to zone out. I don't want to have to deal. We mask ourselves with things. And so different than masking yourselves with like junk food or Netflix or whatever, masking it with just being really busy. And I was victim to that. Like if I just stay really, really busy, then I won't have to actually think about things that are upsetting me, or I won't have to actually deal with something that's heavy on my heart because I'm so busy that my mind is focused on something else. And I did that big time in my life. I have a tendency towards doing that. And so using busyness to mask things that we don't want to deal with. So how can we help for the people that have too much going on? Well, we can show others how you make time, right? No one makes time, but showing others how we make the time. How do we find that time? How do we plan our day and discipline ourselves so that when 5 p.m. comes around, there's no other choice but to meet that appointment I set with myself from 5 to 5:30. I'm going to do my 21-day fix, upper body fix today. I made that date with myself at 5, and that's how I'm planning my time. And you know what? When somebody calls me at 5:05, I'm actually not going to answer the phone because I made a date with myself, and at 5:31, I can call them back. Or at 4:59, I'm on Facebook scrolling, and all of a sudden, somebody messages me, and no, you have a date with yourself. So showing people how you do that. How do you find the time in your busy day, right? Stressing the importance of balance, guys. Because if we just drive ourselves on this hamster wheel over and over and over again, and we just drive ourselves into the ground, it's a recipe for disaster, of way worse health scares than we even want to think about, right? If we're stressing ourselves out on top of everything. So stressing the importance of balancing it all. How do you balance, right? Like last night, and I'm sharing examples because I just wanted to spark in you guys of like real life examples. So I'm not here trying to toot my own horn or anything like that. I'm just trying to show you of like in my life, how am I doing this? So stressing the importance of balance. Last night, I hadn't done hammer and chisel, and I had one more workout to do for the week with it. And you know what? It was like a 45-minute workout. My body was hurting, and I worked so hard this week with hammer and chisel. I didn't miss any of the workouts. And so I was like, you know what? I need to work out today, but I'm not going to do that workout. My body needs yoga. And so I did yoga instead. And I saw other people in our group, other people on our team who are doing similar things, that you're listening to your body. And that's so important. So important. Yeah, we want to follow the calendar. Absolutely. Because the calendars are designed for a purpose and a reason, right? There's science behind the design of the calendar. So we don't want to just make up our own thing if we're expecting to see results, but it's okay to listen to your body when you need to, right? And so just stressing the importance of that balance. Sharing examples of what it feels like to wear yourself thin. So have you ever had a time in your life when you just wore yourself thin? Or maybe you're in a time of your life where you just feel worn down, right? You're just tired. Well, why don't you share about it? Share about how you're tired. But you know what? I know that this is my body's way of telling me I got to get back on track. Talk to people about that. Okay, I'm going to go quicker because I got 2 more points and I'm past time. So the fourth thing we're competing with is marketing and advertising. It's false images. It's creating intrigue that promotes selfish things, right? So we want people to be interested in what we've got because we just want them to buy it. We don't care what it's going to do for their body or for their health, or we don't care what damages to the environment or whatever in the process. Like, no, it's money, 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 take. So that's what a lot of marketing and advertising are doing out there. It makes everything look simple, makes life look easy, right? It looks like you don't have to work for anything. That's what our society, that's what media advertises to us. You don't have to work for things. Things are just given to you. And it's not providing us with a true, real picture. False reality. That's what we're living in. That's what we're competing against. So how do we go against that? Well, share your authentic journey. Share the highs and share the lows. Be real and relatable. People are attracted to that because it's not out there. People don't see that often. So then when they're in the quiet comforts of their own home and they're like, oh my gosh, there's not a single person out there that deals with being bloated or deals with postpartum depression or deals with stretch marks or deals with cellulite. When you're sharing that and you're sharing what your highs and your lows, right? And your in-betweens, all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. Other people go through this too, right? Also, be relatable. It builds trust with people. People want to follow somebody they can trust. So be relatable so that they can trust you. And stick with you. You don't have to be a Beachbody cookie cutter template. You don't need to post mass like, a challenge pack is on sale. Who cares? Nobody cares that the challenge pack is on sale. What I want to know is, what is that workout like? How do you like it? What has it done for you? Right? That kind of stuff. So stick with you. Stick with you and your journey. And that sort of marketing and advertising is going to be much better than any sort of cookie cutter image. All right, and the last thing we compete against, guys, is low self-esteem and image, okay? People who have a lack of self-esteem and they lack feeling like self-love, and they don't like the image they see when they look in the mirror, and they pick apart this and they pick apart that, it's out there. It's in all of us. I mean, because back to the marketing and advertising makes everybody look so perfect, right? And so then all of a sudden when I'm not perfect, I feel like something's wrong, right? We feel like something's wrong with ourselves. So a lot of people who lack self-esteem and they have low image about themselves, they think that this health and fitness, right? This isn't for them. That's the initial thing. Like, it's just not for me. Wasn't designed for me. I'm not a bodybuilder, not a bikini model. I'm never going to be able to wear something super cute, like show my arms off, or what, you know what I mean? Like they feel like it's not for them. A lot of them have failed so many times before that it just becomes one more time for them to fail. And they're so sick of it. It's like, well, I've failed so many times. It's been like 5 years of failed diet after failed this, after failed, shake weight, after failed thigh toner, after, you know what I mean? Like fail after fail after fail. And so they just don't want to fail anymore. So you know what? If I don't put myself out there, then I don't have the opportunity to even fail. So I'll just kind of stand back and live my life status quo. That's what happens when you got low self-esteem. But I have news for you. You don't just step back and live status quo. You end up doing this because you're in the back sidelines. And as everybody's progressing, as people are moving forward, you're not going anywhere. And essentially when people are moving forward and you're not, you're moving back. The gap is getting bigger. Also, maybe nothing has ever worked for that person. Maybe, they've tried going to this gym, and they've tried this Zumba thing, and they've tried, Herbalife, and they tried the rap, right? And it didn't work. Well, I can see why they'd have low self-esteem. Absolutely. And a big one, this is so huge, is that they probably have people in their lives that don't actually support them. Oftentimes somebody who has low self-esteem is hanging around a circle of people that don't lift them, that actually bring them down. Maybe the habits that are in their lives aren't supporting a healthy lifestyle. I know before my Beachbody journey, I hung out with a lot of people who drank excessively, did drugs, and just lived a very, very free and irresponsible lifestyle, for lack of a better term. And so they just lived this way. And so when I started to get healthy, like I started to work out and I started to eat better and I started to try to take care of myself. And as I was doing this, it was like, okay, well, I shouldn't maybe be drinking so much. And okay, I don't want to go stay out too late because I got to be able to wake up and do my workout because I got a busy day and that's how I'm going to fit it in. That's my appointment I made with myself, right? And so when I started to do that, those people backed away from me. They didn't want me to be, they didn't want me to be a part of them anymore because my healthy habits, weren't part of what their lifestyle was. And they weren't supporting, vice versa. Like I didn't want to be near them because their habits weren't supporting what I needed. They weren't filling me up so that I could then go conquer my workout and feel like a badass, right? So it wasn't lifting me up. So oftentimes people with low self-esteem, they just simply don't have the people in their circle to lift them up and support them on that journey. So where do we step in? Well, Beachbody isn't one size fits all. It's not, and we know that. So showcasing the diversity of the people that you work with, or the people that you are on Team Our Victory with, or the people that are in your group, and just shouting them out and sharing that, showcasing the diversity, showcasing the beauty of that diversity, right? I like to think of those like Dove ads where they show so many different women of all shapes, colors, sizes, everything. It's awesome. Showing the beauty of all of our differences on this journey. Maybe it never worked for them, guys, because they lacked something. And we know fitness plus nutrition plus that community of support plus rewards and recognition along the way are the equation for success. It's the catalyst for success. We know this. So maybe it didn't work because it was missing a component. Maybe they were dieting hardcore and it was like a crash diet, but they didn't work out and they didn't have anybody supporting them and they didn't have any reward system because they took everything away. They took the cookies away and they took everything away. So they had no rewards at the end of the day. No. And so they didn't have success. Or maybe they just went to the gym and then after the gym, they'd go through the drive-through. And so their nutrition was lacking. Or, maybe again, that community, maybe they're in the wrong kind of support community. Maybe they're not supporting healthy habits. But we know that with the fitness programs that we have, adding in nutrition, Shakeology, as well as understanding what clean foods do for your body and also understanding how to eat clean and how to clean out our kitchens and how to use those portion containers and how to get on Beachbody On Demand and watch those Fixate videos and what you can do in your kitchen to promote your health, right? That nutrition. And then having a community of people who are on that journey pushing you, right? And then just the recognition, the support of the rewards that we get from being recognized or shouted out, rewards of just, a card in the mail or a prize at the end of a group because you rocked something out. That is a catalyst for success. And we know that. So maybe it never worked for them because they're missing something. And opening up dialogue and conversations to let people know that we have the full package It's worth something. It is. It's so worth something. So the other thing is, be the one, guys. Be the one who helps them finally change. Again, maybe they never had that support in their life. I know I didn't. I didn't have that kind of support system in my life. And all of a sudden, when I saw what that looked like, I wanted in. I wanted in on that so bad. When I saw Emily and I saw Michelle Myers and I saw this community that Beachbody had, these beautiful women that were just like so alive, I wanted that. I wanted to be in that. And so be the one who helps them finally make that change. Be the one that gets them to a support community, right? It doesn't mean that you have to, if you're just in our team and you consider yourself a discount coach, or you're just enjoying, the accountability from our team, this is still for you. You can still have a conversation with somebody that's watching your journey and be the one that grabs and says, you know what, we have these groups we do. You should join in our next Fall Back into Fitness. So again, I know I said at the beginning, but this webinar, this chat tonight, this was not just for coaches who are technically working the business. And I say that in quotes when I say working, because we're all, the second you sign up as a coach, we're all working, because we're all fighting this same mission together, right? To have healthy, fulfilling lives, and giving others that same opportunity. And so that is so important, that you not only, it doesn't matter if you're working or discount or hobby or business builder or whatever the heck you are, it doesn't matter. You can still be the one person that cares enough about somebody else that says, hey, we've got this thing that we do, and it's so awesome. I'd love if you joined it next month. It's so easy to do that, guys. It's not icky. It's from the heart. It's totally genuine. So that's our competition. That's our competition. It is, again, it is not other network marketers. Like I kind of like, it's not that I turn my nose up to it, but I laugh at it, because I'm not competing against Arbonne, and I'm not competing against freaking Herbalife. And I'm not competing against It Works. And I'm not competing against any other network marketing company. I'm competing against the real problems. And you're competing against the real problems that we face in health and fitness today. And so I hope this encourages you to kind of step out of your comfort zone a little bit. Oh my gosh, Frankie's up. Hold on. Frankie, come here. Come here, Papu. Say hi, Frankie. Oh, did you wake up from a nap? You're just loving me. Oh no. The reason I picked him up is because he just woke up from a nap, which means he's going to piss on my carpet, which I don't want to happen. Oh, are you tired? Which I don't want him to do. So that's my cue to wrap this up so that I can take him outside so he can go pee-pee outside like a big dog. Yay, pee-pee outside. Potty training at its finest. This is the love of my life though right now. Also Charles is the love of my life as well, but I love Frankie. Anyway, I really hope that helps to encourage you in what we're doing, guys, because this isn't like some icky, sticky, weird business where we're just trying to sell people challenge packs and shakes and just trying to hit my success club. I could care freaking less. What I want you to do is I want you to get out there, compete and fight that good fight against what really matters. Against people that are tired and lazy and don't have energy, against people who expect quick fixes and instant gratification, fighting against people who are just plain old busy and just running that hamster wheel, fighting against false advertising, and fighting against people who are broken and have low self-esteem. That's what we're working towards. So I love you guys. If you have any questions or comments, or you want to add anything, you can do it over on the team page. Say bye, Frankie. I love you, Team Our Victory. Bye-bye. He's so cute. All right. Bye, guys. Have a good night.